for Iowa after the Iowa Conference Men's Basketball Championship game in which Luther defeated Dubuque by the score of 57-48. I'm Pat Coleman. It's Mark Franzen, the head coach of Luther. First of all, Coach, congratulations. And I can tell from the banners up on the wall that it's been a long time.
Yeah, it has. Thanks a lot. It's been about 27 years, and it's nice to hang another one.
Yeah, in fact, looking over my shoulder earlier, the last Iowa Conference Championship. There's certainly been some good women's basketball teams here over the course of this thing, but this is, from my understanding, fairly uncharted territory, certainly for being in the Iowa Conference Championship.
Yeah, we started this process in 06-07, so the seniors are our first recruiting class, and we kind of had to draw it up where, hey, your first class is going to get the championship. That's the way it worked out, so we're fortunate that we were able to hang a banner here.
It's certainly a pretty good selling point. One of the members of that senior class, a guy who came off the bench today, actually, whose name I'm going to struggle to pronounce, so I'm going to ask you to tell me about Okalua.
Namdi Okalua is a guy that has made sacrifices for the team first and foremost. A couple years ago, I believe he was our second leading scorer. He came off the bench, accepted that role, and has just excelled in it with him and Tyler Wiedemeyer in that role. And tonight he stepped up and did a great job.
Tonight with 11.7 rebounds, 4 for 4, shooting off the bench. It seemed like both teams, especially early on, came out really tight. It was a really poor shooting first half. The teams combined for 2 of 12 from three-point range. Yeah, and I know that neither Dubuque nor Luther never did a conference championship game before. You think the atmosphere tightened things up a little bit?
Well, I think, first and foremost, Dubuque really guarded well. I think Robbie does a great job. Rob Seaton does coaching these guys. They really guarded well. I think it was tough for us to get shots. And on the other end, we lead the Iowa Conference in defense, so we're going to guard. Certainly, I think both teams are probably a little tight, but I think there's also good defense on both ends as well.
Talk about the atmosphere a little bit here tonight. You're taking a look at the student body, especially turned out for Luther, filling the entire student section on the far side and a little bit on the near side there too.
I really appreciate that. I mean, look up there. I kind of stay pretty zeroed in on the game, obviously, but at the end, looking up at the stands and seeing them going all the way up to the top, those are special things, and we really appreciate the support.
Is that fairly unusual for Luther men's basketball?
Yeah, we've had some great, our rival game is Dubuque College. We'll get some crowds like that, but our students have kept kind of growing as we kept winning, and that's fairly typical at any school you'll be at. Obviously, the more you win, the more it's enjoyable to come out and watch, and we appreciate them coming out.
You guys have played a couple of teams this year who are, if not in the playoffs at the time that we're talking, they're going to be in the playoffs by the time this goes Sunday. Whitworth, you've handled you guys pretty well in Hawaii, and then Northwestern.
Yes, Whitworth is obviously a great team. When we played them, that was our stretch. We started 0-4. We started this season 0-4. We were kind of feeling our way yet as a team. We didn't have the starting lineup yet that we have now, and so since that helped us get better. Whitworth's a great program, great team. That helped us get better. And then since that time too, we've lost our starting point guard out of that deal. Mike Proctor did a great job, and that's even really proud of our backup point guards for stepping out.
I saw him in a boot tonight. I think is it 8 games that he's missed, and is he expected back at all?
No, he had broke a bone in the top of his foot, so he's done for the year. But as a freshman, he's from near the San Francisco area. Came in and just did a super job for us. But he is gone for the year.
You guys giving any thought to, not necessarily who you might play, but at what school you might play this week?
Yeah, I don't know. I've been on the committee for 5 or 6 years as an independent rep at Wesleyan, and now I just got off this year on the committee, so I kind of have an idea how that works. So I think we're excited to compete. If we go wherever they send us, we're looking forward to competing.
Scouting the IIAC championship game on Sunday?
Yeah, there's been some wild games in there. Obviously great teams, but boy, I think the Hamlin and St. Thomas game was a wild one. It looks like yesterday.
But let's talk a little bit more about the rest of your team. It's at least a starting lineup today with just one senior, a couple of juniors. It's still a pretty young team too.
It is, and like I mentioned, Mike Crocker, the freshman that went out, we started 2 freshmen. Excuse me, sophomore, junior, and senior, and most of the points this year. So we got a young team, and we got some guys, 10 deep that we feel pretty comfortable with. So we like our depth, number one, but we like how it's mixed up as far as the years in school too.
Tonight, Tim Merritt also off the bench for you, 13 points in his 23 minutes. I think he struggled a little bit, at least from deep in the first half, and then he had a couple big threes in the second.
He did. We just kind of, he knows and we know both that, he may throw up a bad shot once in a while. He's getting his footing underneath him. We know he'll come back and give it a great effort, make the miss on the later one. So, there's another guy who used to start, Namdi Olu and Tim Merritt used to both start for us. This works better for us coming off the bench, and they've done a great job.
Mark Franzen, head coach of Luther College, victorious tonight 57-48 over Dubuque. I'll send it back to Dave.